Australia, and I say this very regularly, is that we're never in the linear property market, we're never going to be a market that moves in one direction. And even though a market such as Sydney's sort of seen the press change its tone very quickly, where it was the darling of the Australian property market, Sydney's all of a sudden become the dark reaper that hangs over everyone's head because they're over leveraged and can't afford to hold their property. But there's still opportunities. I mean, we've done a full assessment of the change in the housing code and where opportunities potentially lie all of a sudden out of nowhere. But where we're buying, really it's a mix depending on where we're trying to achieve an outcome for a client. But really, from high cash flow assets, we're seeing some really good opportunities right across southeast Queensland in certain markets, certain property types. I think the units, villas, townhouses probably get a bigger rap than they probably deserved about 2 or 3 years ago, and I think probably there's a bit of oversight in certain investors' detail as far as cash flow. Unfortunately, people chose to look at gross yield numbers a little bit too frequently, and probably seeing that the true cash flow on properties in those markets really not providing anything, definitely no rental growth, and if anything, a bit of softening. So cash flow wise, there are still markets there, but they're definitely the freestanding housing markets in our opinion. Hobart's still providing strong rental growth. Amazingly enough, we've seen in the last probably 12 months, and even more recently in the last 3 or 4 months, in certain markets in Hobart, you've seen anywhere between probably 8 and 15% rental growth in a value, as far as that's concerned, in addition to 5 to 15% in capital growth. But that's a market for cash flow. If we're talking to that $300,000 to $600,000 price point, we're seeing really good opportunities, I think, still across the southeast Queensland markets. Understanding zoning in each local council in Queensland is probably a little bit more difficult than it is in New South Wales, because there is a lot more local environmental plans specific to local council which needs to be understood there. But I think granny flats are probably a tougher proposition these days, because we're seeing a lot of gazetting changing in local councils out there. But subdivisions, big opportunity along main infrastructure pipelines, rezoning markets, and looking at potentially also opportunities a little bit further north now towards the Sunshine Coast areas. We've seen some really good opportunities up there starting to present themselves. And I think personally Perth's probably still at least 9 to 12 months away, as much as it's starting to get a bit of a rap for some investors. Melbourne, I think we're still in a pretty similar position to where we were, to where Sydney is now, where it's starting to see its crescendo, and probably going to go into a little bit of a hibernation for another 2 to 4 years. And we have invested in Adelaide and Darlington.